I've spent years studying all the biggest music artists in the world and compiled a list of the 4 key elements that make up an arena-filling brand. This is the exact framework all your favorite artists have mastered to make them stand out from the pack. It's why you think of Slash from Guns N' Roses when you see a top hat, or Drake when someone mentions Toronto. No matter what genre of music you make, this checklist will work for you if you understand this system. You don't need to spend 4 years of your life getting a degree in marketing to learn this, because we're literally going to break all of it down right now in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to the Brand Identity Masterclass. If you found this video, that means you are early. While everybody else is watching all these gurus that are selling them on playlisting and Facebook ads and sync licensing and just trying to scam them out of their money, you are here watching the only video that's going to actually spill the sauce for free. Let's get into it. We're going to be uncovering the 4 elements of an arena-filling brand. This is the checklist all your favorite artists have mastered. The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, you name it, and this artist is going down this list, and they're doing the same exact thing that you could start doing today if you follow this all to a T. So our first element of a killer brand identity, one that will stand out from the crowd, is who are you? Who are you? Right? What is your name, both artist name and real name, if you want to reveal that information? How old are you? What is your gender? Where are you located in the world? What is your sexuality? All of these things factor into who you are as an artist, and this is the foundation of your brand identity. From there, you have to establish, do you want to be approachable, like Taylor Swift? Or do you want to be untouchable, like Frank Ocean? This is all ground floor stuff that once you establish that this is your angle, this is who you are, everything else when it comes to building your brand identity becomes that much simpler because it all starts here. Who are you? Is your location an integral part of your brand? Think about Drake in Toronto. That's a big part of his brand. I bet off the top of your head right now, you can think of a ton of other artists where their location is integral to their brand. How about your sexuality and the relationship you're in? Is that going to be a big part of your brand? Is your relationships going to be public or private? All of this factors into your brand identity as an artist and who you are. Moving on to number 2, your mood. Your mood is so huge, and this is something that can change. Who you are cannot change. Your name, your age, your location, that's your foundation. That won't change, but the mood of your brand can take twists and turns all the time. So think about it like this, right? What emotion do we want to convey? This can be an album by album thing. If you've made a sad album, the brand can shift sad. The mood can shift sad. If you've made a upbeat, happy summer album, then the mood can shift in that direction. It could be bright, it could be upbeat, but this all has to be established and stay true to the course no matter what's going on in the outside world. If the world is shifting sad, but you want to stay bright, you've got to stick true to that mood and you've got to see it through for that cycle that you've decided you're going to roll with. Is the music dark and the brand dark? Think about Billie Eilish, right? There was a big period where a lot of her brand was extremely dark during a time in which everybody was bright colors, big, loud synth pop music. Everything was like bright, happy. And then she was the outlier. She was that 180 that came out of nowhere with this super dark, creepy, mysterious brand. And the music was dark and the brand was dark. I mean, look at this album art, bro. Like everything was dark in a world that was super bright at the time. And she stood out, and that's what made her brand killer right from the start. But there was also a time where it was like, okay, is it bright? Who's been a bright brand from day one? Katy Perry, this whole time period, this whole era, everything was super bright. Bright colors, bright music, bright sounds. And now Katy Perry can reinvent herself at any given point, and she can shift dark if she wants. We've seen Billie Eilish shift bright at times too. So all of this can change, but you've got to stick true to it for a set amount of time. Who are you and what is the mood that you want to convey? Because that brings us into number 3, which is integral. Integral. Who is the target audience? This is everything. This is everything. When you understand this, when you master this, you will see growth that's incredible. Incredible. All the greatest artists and just brands in general, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Ford, Budweiser, it doesn't matter. They've all mastered this. This is the most important step by far. Who is the target audience, right? When you understand who the ideal fan is, you immediately get a huge advantage. immediately, right? Look at this picture right here, right? These are die-hard fans, and that's who your ideal fan is. That's who your target audience is. And you get a huge advantage when you understand who that target audience is and you integrate it into your brand and build your brand off of that. Every artist is not going to play to the same crowd. Every DJ wants to be the DJ in Miami with the models surrounding them at club space. That's like the dream for the whole DJ world. But somebody's got to play the cornfield in Iowa. Somebody's got to go out to Alaska and play to the Penguins. Not everybody can play to the same crowd, and you don't really get to choose to an extent where your path takes you, but you can position yourself with your brand identity in a way that's going to attract that ideal audience. So if you're putting out the vibe that you are this kind of artist, you are the club space, Playboy model, Miami DJ, and you stick to that brand identity and you go down that path, this is your destination. But if you are an artist who cornfields and tractors, and that's true to your brand identity and that's true to your nature, you're probably not going to play this club. This is probably going to be your reality, and you've got to set yourself up for the expectation that that's going to be where you're going to go as you cross this path, as you go down this road with, again, what? Your brand identity. Because in the age of social media, you attract your target audience. You attract who is going to be your target audience. Like we were just talking about, the energy that you put out there, the vibe that you portray, who your target audience is, you can attract them and bring them to you if you position yourself and your brand identity in a way in which they're going to be receptive to it. So if your target demographic, if you're like, listen, I think my music plays really, really well to men in their 50s, I probably wouldn't position yourself in the same way with your brand identity as someone whose target audience is girls age 15 to 25. It's a different mindset when it comes to the music, the branding, the mood, who you are, and how much of that who you are you're integrating into the brand. All of that factors into who is your target audience and how do you attract them to you? And last but not least, this element's reliant on all of the other three elements. Logo, color, emoji. It's the least important. All the marketing gurus will say it's the most important. Why? They don't want to do the groundwork of helping you establish, number one, who are you? Number two, mood. And number three, which is the most important, target audience. They just want to go, okay, your color scheme, your logo, and your emoji is this, and this is the most important. This is the least important because you need to sort the other three out first. But this is integral to your brand. This is a part of what makes your brand identity work or not. But if you haven't established the other pillars, your entire brand will collapse. Strong association equals strong branding. Think about Olivia Rodrigo and the color purple, and Prince back in the day with the color purple. Olivia Rodrigo knows her target audience, and she knows that she's associating herself so strongly with the color purple that when her target audience sees the color purple, they think of her. Think about Slash. Slash had an entire generation that when they saw that top hat, even if he wasn't wearing it, they thought of him. The strong association creates the strong branding, but it comes from knowing your target audience. And listen, it's 2024, so the emoji test is huge for your brand identity, right? Like, can your brand be summarized in a single emoji? Think about Kygo, the DJ, the tropical house DJ. Palm tree, that's all he needs. Tom Brady, goat emoji. Doesn't even matter if it's music or not. If you can summarize your entire brand with a single emoji, you get such a heads up on the rest of the game who's trying to incorporate a million different things into the equation. And the final point that we need to drive home, we need to drive this home. Everything prior in this video will not matter if you don't understand this concept, which is that the only way to find your brand identity is to test publicly. Test it publicly. You know who you are, right? That's a given. But the mood, who your target audience is, how you attack and attract that target audience, your logo, your emoji, all of that can be altered if you have the foundation and the willingness to test this all publicly. Because in this day and age, 2024, social media, you can throw a bunch of fishing rods out into the ocean and see where do all the fish swim to? What's the brand identity combination that for you is attracting your ideal target audience and it's attracting them in mass, in droves? There's a million ways to test these things. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, stories, emojis within your captions. There's so many different ways to just subtly and over the top test all of these elements of your brand identity to see what's gonna work. And once you've got that winning combination, then you just gotta drive it into that public sphere over and over and over again until it sticks and it resonates. And I promise that you will have an established brand identity if you follow these things. Who are you? What's the mood of the brand? Who's your target audience? And then what's the logo, color, and emoji that you can pair with this all to get it to stick? I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you want your brand identity to be. What is your emoji? Drop that all in the comments, and I will see you Friday. Peace.